Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Executive Focus. I'm Macomb County Executive Mark Hackel. We're going to talk about some things that are very important, I think, within Macomb County that are an asset, yet sometimes we take advantage of or take for granted we don't really realize. People always talk about economic development, but within this county we want to try to promote more of what we call community development. There are true assets in and around Macomb County that people like to kind of migrate to, and I think it's a reason why people like to live in Macomb County. This whole program we're pushing forward, trying to get people to realize, you know what, let's make Macomb your home. I think it's already come to a realization over this last census period. If you look at the last census data, over this 10-year period, we saw kind of a decline in population in the state of Michigan, in particular in southeast Michigan. Detroit, Wayne County, there was a tremendous loss in the population, yet when we look at the actual numbers in Macomb County, there was a tremendous growth. There were 53,000 people made a conscious decision to move into Macomb County for a particular reason. Oakland County, our neighboring county, there was a growth of about 8,000. But 53,000 people during that last census period moved to Macomb County, and we had to take a look at that, and we're working with some demographers to get a true understanding why. But we tend to believe there was something, a value-added proposition in Macomb County that made people want to make Macomb their home. And one of those things is the quality of life aspect we believe people looked at and says, that's an area we know we can go to because of affordable housing, great schools, but there's something that's an asset in and around our community that we truly like and we're going to benefit from. The people that I've invited to the program here today are those type of individuals that truly believe in this quality of life aspect in and around Macomb County, in our own backyards. The individuals I'll introduce if I could. We got Kevin Hanson from Hanson Running Stores, and he'll give us a little bit of background of what he does. Kathy Boshers. Kathy is actually part of the Trail Commission for the Orchard Trails. And we got Tracey. Tracey is here, and she's going to talk a little bit about a running program that's going on, and hopefully you'll sign up to join and participate in. Folks, thanks for being here. Thanks for being on the program.
Thanks for having us.
Well, if you actually look at the numbers, there was 14 people per day over a last 10-year period chose to move to Macomb County. That's 14 people a day over a 10-year period. That's pretty remarkable during a time when we saw a lot of decrease in population. And I truly believe it has a lot to do with the thing that you have a passion for and an interest in. It's that kind of community development piece and the recreational aspect of what's going on. So, Kathy, you work with a trail organization right now, and it's kind of in the northern part of Macomb County, the Orchard Trail Commission. Can you kind of give us a little bit of background of what you really do for a living, besides just being on the Trail Commission, and then give us some insight about the trails?
Okay, well, for a living right now, I'm an elected official in Washington Township. I'm the township clerk, and I'm kind of newly elected, and I've only been there for 2.5 years. Prior to that, I've always worked in private industry. I've been a business owner, worked at consulting and quality engineering, also had a small retail shop, so I've kind of delved into a lot of things. More importantly, when you talk about Macomb County, I've been a Macomb County resident all my life. Started in southern Macomb County, then once we got married, we moved out to Washington, and I've been in Washington over 20 years. So, you know, when you talk about Macomb, Kevin and I were talking before we started the show, and we said, you know, we've both been here all our lives. We might have moved around a little bit, but this is our home, and it's a nice place to be from and to still be here. As far as the Macomb Orchard Trail, you know, one of the things that you said as far as recreation, we have this little gem that sits out in northern Macomb County called that Macomb Orchard Trail. And you really have, you know, 24 miles of a linear park. And I don't think people think of it that way. But you could start at about 24 mile in Van Dyke, or 24 mile into Quinder in Shelby Township. And you can go all the way to the city of Richmond on a trail. You get to go through orchards, you get to go through subdivisions, you get to go through different types of terrain that you just go, wow, this is a pretty park. If you figure, if you start at 24 Mile Road and go all the way to Richmond, you're going to go through Shelby Township, Washington Township, Romeo, Armada, and Richmond. What an opportunity. And it is just a beautiful, beautiful trail. I was talking to somebody later last week, they're in Armada. They said they're on the trail one Sunday. And remember, this is like a newly paved portion of the trail. They said, I think I counted 200 people on a Sunday morning. I looked at it, I said, no, he goes, really, Kathy, 200 people. That's how many people start to use this trail, just in a section that's newly paved. And it's just this gem that if people come out, take advantage of it, whether you walk, ride a bike, it's wheelchair accessible. It's a wonderful, wonderful trail. What an opportunity for us.
And one of the things they were talking about when they first established that trail was a safety feature, the safety factor. I know there's some concerns about that initially when the county was talking about purchasing the property from the rails and that Rails to Trails program. I think there were many people, including yourself and probably the rest of us that are sitting here, the interest in wanting to do it, yet there were some people saying, oh, it's not going to be a safe environment, things are bad are going to happen. Yet we knew full well there were other trails that were established, within the region and even outside, throughout the state that are probably the safest places actually to be in, to run and enjoy.
It's interesting that you say that, Mark. The one thing that happens is as people become more aware of them and they become more used and things, you have your regulars on the trails. It's almost like it is their trail, and they take personal pride in exactly that. You have it spread out where I think it's one of the safest areas that you can possibly be in for just that, because there's people there and there are people that take ownership of the trail itself. And so they want to make sure everything's right out there. And so when they're out there walking, they're also out there policing and everything else. It's like it's part of what they do. They consider it their property.
Gatekeeper,
absolutely. Absolutely.
We're fortunate because having my prior life dealing with law enforcement, we kind of took an engaged, approach to it. Whether it was the trails in Harrison Township, or obviously moving to the north end with the Orchard trails, of making sure there was, the bicycle patrols that we had out there. We have the four-wheelers out there, kind of patrolling, and it's for non-motorized use, but for law enforcement, obviously for the personal safety and that comfort feeling that we like to give people. We made sure early on that people understood, we're going to be there kind of monitoring and to keep an eye on it. But Kevin, you're exactly right. People have this need to say, you know what, I'm so used to that, whether it's at Stony Creek Park, the Orchard Trails in the north, or even in the southern part of the county, that I love this environment, and you know what, I'm out here, and they notice when there's imperfections, when there's something that needs to be fixed, or there's somebody out there that looks a little strange, or something's just off. Those are the ones that are usually bringing that stuff to our attention. So I mean, it's a great environment, and it's a safe environment.
Well, and that when you say about people taking ownership, and the Macomb Orchard Trail, there's a group called the Friends of the Macomb Orchard Trail. And you talk about people taking responsibility and wanting to be involved. The Friends group actually started an Adopt a Trail program this year. Do you know they actually have the whole trail covered from Shelby Township to Richmond with groups, whether it be, I think I've seen there's Boy Scout troops, there's a couple families involved. I want to believe there's a couple farming groups involved. I can't remember all the names, but they adopted a section of the trail, and they've made at least a year commitment to maintain that piece of the trail. And then in the Friends group itself, you have individuals who said, hey, we use it, we love it, we want to help you. They're the ones that go out there and put the boxes up for the maps. They make sure that if there's any graffiti or something on the trail, they're out there taking care of it. They just love the trail, and they want it to be welcoming for everybody. And people say, well, how can I get involved? Talk to the Friends. Talk to the Friends, and they just do so much. And it's that thing that you see, how can I help? Now that I've used it one time or used it a couple times, they really like it.
Yeah, I think people take it on as that's my own backyard. It's my own backyard, and so it's like, how do I want my own backyard kept?
Well,
and
the
so
backyard piece was something that was interesting because initially that was another concern. People were talking about the property owners that were in and around those trails were thinking that their property values were going to decline. I mean, I remember the first arguments or talks about this. Now people, when they sell their homes in and around that area, they try to give that as an added feature to the close proximity, or if that's in their backyard. Absolutely. I mean, it adds a tremendous amount of value to the home as well. And we've tend to recognize that it has an economic advantage for homeowners, as well as I think businesses in and around the area.
Absolutely.
And I got to believe there's an economic advantage to your business and what you do.
Absolutely.
Kevin, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Yeah, I'm Kevin Hanson. I own Hanson's Running Shops. As you mentioned, we were talking before, I'm a lifetime Macomb County resident. It's funny, when we first opened up our first store in Macomb County, we were at Hayes and Hall Road in a strip mall, and then we since moved down to Utica, but we're still on Hall Road between M53 and Old Van Dyke. And when we first moved here, people thought that when we first opened a store here, people thought that a running store is it's not going to make it Macomb County because Macomb County is too blue collar. It doesn't want that kind of thing, so on and so forth. And it's so great just seeing how our running community has just prospered. So here we are 20 years later talking about all the great things that are happening in Macomb County for the running community, and in particular the event coming up.
You're selling yourself short there. I think there's a lot more to it. It's not just a running store. It's, I think, the owners of that store and the engagement and the involvement you've had in the community. I mean, ever since you started getting involved in this, I mean, I would venture a guess even since you've been in high school. I mean, running's been a part of your life, but you really get involved in the schools with the kids.
It's
and
my brother and I.
communities.
We enjoy it. I still coach at the high school level, and I coach world-class athletes. I coached an Olympian in the last Olympic Games in Beijing, in Brian Sell, and I coach currently 17 professional runners, including most recently the woman that finished second in Boston Marathon by 2 seconds, and no American woman has won it in 27 years. And so at that level, but I still can't leave my roots at the high school level, and this will be my 30th year at Stevenson High School, and still coach at the high school level because that's the most fun I have, is watching people start to introduce them to the sport, because so often our sport of running, like we say, is another sport's punishment, and they think that running is something that you do when you show up late to practice and those kind of things. They find out differently. So
that is true. I started into it through wrestling. It was basically to work on endurance.
Exactly.
And that's how I became interested. And then I'd start running some of those races, and then I'd see the racing crew from Hanson show up, and I realized, okay, I'll just try to follow that crowd as close as I can, but that didn't last too long.
It's a good group, but honestly, truthfully, we enjoy it so much. It's funny because people, we get a lot of credit. People say, thanks for doing what you do for the running community. We get credit. It doesn't really make sense. We enjoy what we're doing. We're involved with good people. It's like if you were to go to the movies and come back from the movie and somebody say to you, hey, thanks for going to the movie. You go, what do you mean? I went to the movie because I wanted to go to the movie. I do the running thing and enjoy it because I want to do it. It's not anything other than that. I enjoy it.
And we'll get into some of the specifics about running and techniques and all that kind of stuff. I'd really like to tap into but your involvement in the community is extremely important to many organizations and people that kind of put some races on. And Tracey is with us, Tracey Moro, who's kind of got a special run up in the north end of the county in particular.
We have a run coming up September 18th on the Macomb Orchard Trail. It's the Romeo to Richmond race. So it'll start over in the Romeo area and go all the way to the downtown city of Richmond.
Well, give us a little bit about your background.
My background? Yeah. Well, I'm not a runner, sorry to say. I try to walk everywhere I go. But nonetheless, I've done events with Macomb County since the early 90s. And I've done all kinds of events and worked at Freedom Hill County Park and did all the events over there and the Gratiot Cruise. And I'm an event person. So what's interesting about the Romeo to Richmond race is the passion that these runners have for racing. It's incredible. I've never seen a more passionate group of people for an event. It's really, really good. Mm-hmm.
And we're going to put more information about that. Is there a website on the actual Romeo2RichmondRace.com with a number 2, Romeo2RichmondRace.com. Okay, and people want to sign up, they can actually do it.
They can actually go online to you can go to our website and you can sign up there. There's a click it and it goes to runmichigan.com and you get to online register.
Okay, and when you talk about the actual, how many years has this been in the
This is our second year.
Okay, this will be the second year. And Kev, you have some involvement in that?
Absolutely. Well, we provide the timing and things for the event, but also those brochures are available at all of our stores as well. You can pick those up in the informational section. But no, these are the kind of events when somebody like this comes and has such a great idea. It's not, and then they ask us to be involved. It's like we ask to be involved. We want to be involved in this. It's a great event. We're excited. We think it's only going to get bigger and bigger. And it also, in addition to being something that provides great for the running community, it also provides a great chance for people to see the trail that aren't aware of where it is.
Well, we're going to get into more specifics about different running events and things that are going on. But right now we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back with our guests to talk about those quality of life aspects in and around Macomb County. We'll be right back.
We're here on the Macomb Orchard Trail where it's nice and quiet and sunny, but it won't be on September 18th when we have the Romeo to Richmond race.
Hi, I'm Tracey Moro. This is John Crum. We're the organizers for the Romeo to Richmond race. We're going to be raising money for the Macomb Food Program. Our goal is to raise $10,000, which will feed 70,000 hungry people in Macomb County. But we need your help. We need you to race. We need you to get out and get up off the couch and come race with us. We're going to be doing a half marathon, which will start in Romeo area and end up in downtown Richmond. And then our 5K run walk will start in Richmond and end in Richmond. It's going to be a fabulous day, and we hope to see you there.
For more information, go to our website, RomeoToRichmondRace.com.